Hi all, Jacob Martinez, Crystal Haiku Guy from artoflove.me. Um, this is my first month doing these. It's actually a brand new channel. Uh, I've been having a hell of a time with water signs. Um, yeah, I've actually tried uploading it several times, and I've even been having a hard time. Well, I had a hard time editing it for the first thing, and then I couldn't even upload it to YouTube for some reason. It keeps like just conking out on me. Hey, Mercury, good job. So, um, yeah, I just started to wonder if maybe I was supposed to change the message or try again, um, which I'm kind of interested in anyway because the first one was kind of depressing for me, and there was some really heavy energy coming forward. And when I went to go back and edit, because the videos that I'm doing in this series I'm only doing 4, one for each of the elements, and then they're broken into like 3 chapters for each of the signs. And when I was doing the water signs, I kept saying another name, and I've been kind of meditating on it because it had me a little stumped, but something came to me, and I'm just gonna say it, because it was 2 specific signs, and it reminded me of some personals that I've actually done recently, and what I understand of some context. And so we will get into the new messages, and I have some other announcements, but I'm first going to say that there seems like there's some shit going on with Aries and Pisces right now, and I'm not sure what it is, but it seems like somebody is saying one thing and actually meaning another. So maybe that message is for you. Maybe it's not. These are, of course, general readings, so they're not going to hit for every single person all the time. I have asked Spirit to help me at least deliver one good solid message for each person that's watching, so I hope that's the case. I hope you get something out of it, if not anything else other than to be entertained, and thank you for giving the new guy on the block a shot. So, yeah, I should also say, if you're watching this and you're not considered a legal adult wherever you live, you should just click like wherever the X is and scram, Sam. Sorry about it, but it might not be appropriate. I don't know what's coming up, and some of the things that come up, I just have to say them how I hear them or feel them, and I'm not gonna edit my wordy dirds either. So hopefully that isn't too much of a turn off, but I do swear like a fucking sailor sometimes. So there's that. The other thing is that I don't really pay a whole lot of specific respect to an emphasis on any gender, because I tend to feel like it's really sort of a brain damaging subject for most of us. Many of us have been damaged because of gender dogmas that have been foisted on us, and I don't get down with that. So what I tend to do is try to do my best with interpreting the energies as they are demonstrated to me. And so if I'm reading a card, that's one thing. If I'm receiving an impression, like a psychic impression, which happens all the time, and I'm not always reading specifically directly off a card, I kind of go with whatever that polarity seems like it is as I'm expressing it. But the characters in the play can be he, she, or they, or whomever it is that you actually are, and what makes sense in your own personal life. So take what makes sense, and if it doesn't make a whole lot of sense, and even if it does, you might have a good time just checking out the other signs that are pertinent to you. So as a rule of thumb, sun, moon, and rising are good to check out. It always helps me when I do that with other readers. If you want more specific information, personal reading is definitely the way to go. Unfortunately, I can't be offering those right this time because I'm really busy with my other personal projects. So I'm just doing these free readings right now, and it's my pleasure to offer them to you, along with the prayers and the energetic healing. And I hope you like them. And there are just tons of awesome readers here on YouTube. So, if you need more help and drilling down into a specific, really reach out to somebody that, you feel connection with. And I'm sure they'll try for you really, really hard. And I will be able to offer some readings in the near future. So hit subscribe, I'll be doing more of these freebies too. So there's that. And yeah. Oh, here's another thing. So I don't know if this is going to work out or not, because I have tried on all the other videos to get the shuffle in the video, and something keeps getting messed up. So I don't know specifically why, other than I'll just say Mercury happens to be a trickster, and a lot of times specifically with me. So we'll see how it goes. If you don't like watching shuffling, I don't blame you. I think it's personally pretty boring to watch somebody sit around and shuffle. You don't have to watch this. I might babble. There will be timestamps in the description. You can just click on the link and it'll jump you to whatever sign you want, so you can toggle or whatever. And that's totally cool with me. So yeah, we're going to be doing Cancer, Pisces, Scorpio in this video. And just to tell you, I kind of designed a little format for this. I wasn't sure how I was going to do them. Like I said, I don't always just read cards. I have other tools and things that I do. But when I do read cards, I think it's probably helpful because I can kind of stick to a flow for everybody, so they're maybe a little uniform. So, yeah, and I also wasn't sure I was even going to show the cards before, because I think sometimes it can be confusing for people when they're checking out somebody's channel who also does psychic intuitive work, in addition to just reading a card with its definition as it's spelled out in a book. That can be maybe confusing to some people if that's the only way that they like to do it, because they might not understand the psychic input that's coming through to the reader. And so sometimes it's happened with me even where I'll be given a card and maybe it's standard meaning, what people would typically think it would mean, doesn't really come into the context so much. And so it's not you can't really prescribe it that way. Or, I mean, you could, sure. Everybody can interpret things however they want, but the way that it will have been given to me is because maybe there's something specific happening within that energy that gives a context that's maybe not a direct interpretation, but it helps me understand something that they might have shown me here or here. Okay, so anyway, having said all that, the way it's turned out, I actually have been sharing the cards, so that might be the case with you guys, 2 water signs. And so back on the format, just what I'm doing here while I'm shuffling for you, just so you know, I pulled out some different oracle cards and tarot, and the first one that I'm going to be using is the Caroline Miss archetype oracle cards. And I really like these. I think they're great. What they're going to represent here for us today is basically let's just call it the weather forecast. Your weather forecast energy for the month of May. So it's like whatever the undertone current of energy is, that's just like, you know, like the baseline of your month, right? So why I like those archetype cards a lot is because they pay like a highlight to both sides of the spectrum of how an energy current might flow or interact in your world, as it's showing up in your life. And so I think it's cool. It kind of breaks it down a little bit, brings it home, so you kind of know what to look for, because it's so easy for people to just give you advice and then, you know, yeah, you hear it, but sometimes you need like an idea of how it might show up so that, you know, when it shows up, you know if it's something you want to grab onto or not, right? And the second card that I'm actually using for your reading is going to represent the energies incoming for the material aspects of your world, the physical sense. It could be body, it could be like stuff in your home, it could be professional. It's all the things that show up in the material world. And for that, I'm actually using the trusty Rider-Waite-Smith deck. And it's kind of a more standard look on the tarot, and one that many people are actually familiar with the symbology and the iconography. And yeah, this deck gets around. I'm just feeling like a major shift here still while I'm shuffling this, and I gotta say, I kind of told you a little bit. The first one that I did for you guys, I felt pretty impacted by it, honestly. I still kind of do, and I've cleared myself and taken supplements and was burning some sage and some salt here and just kind of recalibrating myself, because it really hit me home. And I think part of it too is, I mean, I'm a rising water sign personally, and so I kind of feel this stuff a lot. And yeah, there was a kind of like a dark undertow sort of feeling energy that was coming up. It was pretty oppressive in that first reading, and it was really kind of crazy. It also happened for the air signs later. I read them after you. When I was shuffling the Archangel advice card, Archangel Michael, a card showed up that just like wanted to really show itself. And you know, different people do different things with those. Some people don't pay any mind to them. Sometimes people just check in on like how it feels when a card slips out, or depending on how it presents itself. Like, I know some people won't read it. If it like hits the floor, they're like, nope, that's a discard, and it's like a strong no. But sometimes it's also good for you to know that that was like a no. And other times when they sail out like this one did, it just really was very clear to me that it was like stop, drop, and roll, right? Like somebody's pants are on fire and it's time to take action. And so I actually stopped doing everything and while it was recording, and I just felt the need to like break and do an energetic prayer, like a protection over water signs. So that's already been done right now at this point, and I had just a real fucked up time trying to get it edited and on the web. It wasn't going, and so I just eventually was like, wow, this is telling me something here. But anyway, now I'm here shuffling for you again, and I'm still feeling a really strong pull in that similar direction. It doesn't feel quite as oppressed as I was feeling before, but there's definitely something major on the horizon. It feels like it's changing, and I hope everybody's all right, you know? So I'm just asking for insight now with John Holland Psychic Oracle deck regarding your mental sector. So what's going on in your mind at this time? And it feels pretty scattered right now, to be honest. I don't know what's going on. It's not coming together very well. And we're going to see why. Thank you. Yeah, I just heard break the silence, break the silence, break the silence. So, yeah. I'm not really sure who that's for, but, that's what I heard. Time for truth. So I'm kind of getting the impression here that this might be a pivotal time in your life where something that has been really hidden from you or just completely out of your periphery in any sense comes into your awareness. And they say it could shake you up. And this deck right here that I'm about to deal out, these are Doreen Virtue's Rance Angels. So that's a very lovely deck. Ooh. I just got an image of someone down on one knee like this, and they were either begging for forgiveness or asking for a hand, maybe both. Who is that? That's one way to break some truth, right? And this last one here that I'm shuffling, these are the advice cards from Archangel Michael. I love these, and they have a little prayer on them, so they've been going really well with the other signs. I've been enjoying it. I feel like they have really sort of summed up in a practical way how to navigate the month, and also offer a calibration and a blessing from Archangel Michael that I will be delivering to you. So whoever is freaking out right now, they're saying just let it go. It's easy for me to say that, right? That's what I heard though, so I'm telling you what I heard, not trying to piss you off. But yeah, they said let it go. Let it go. There's nothing to be afraid of here. So hopefully you'll hear that, and hopefully the messages here will help with that. And let's start with you, Cancer. All right. Excuse me. All right, so if you missed the beginning and all that blah blah that I was doing, I decided to pull one of Caroline Miss's archetype cards for you to represent the overall energy that's coming in for the month. It could pose itself as a challenge. Consider it like your weather report. It's going to let you know whether you need a parka today or a hoodie or maybe just a long sleeve shirt. And maybe just help you know what's going on in a situation if things start moving quickly, because sometimes that happens, especially when we're in a 5-planet retrograde coming out of a hailstorm kind of radical eclipse season, and there's just crazy stuff going on right now, so it could get nutty, but yeah, these are cool because they show both sides of the energy spectrum that's being delivered in the month. Because like a battery, there's a positive and a minus, not necessarily good or bad, but just a different form of how the energy can manifest in your life. So what you got is the Teacher card. Sorry for the glare. That's the Teacher. And the Teacher is the bridge between worlds. And this is really a lovely energy to embody. This is the person that's learned from experience that life has given them, and sometimes it's been difficult lessons that have helped them get through a situation, and the reward coming out of some shit often is something different than maybe we would have imagined for ourselves, but what I've heard from a lot of people, and I also know from myself as somebody that's been deeply injured in life in physical, medical, emotional ways, and has been lucky to live, which I'll save that for another time. I know that one of the greatest silver linings that has been presented to me is the opportunity to share what that path was that helped me hack my way out of the shit situation. And, that's stepping into the role of teacher when you're willing to kind of own that. And it can be challenging, Cancer. I'm going to read to you from the card. The light attribute here states the ability to communicate knowledge, experience, skill, or wisdom. And on the shadow side, it's stating manipulating or abusing students and teaching negative traits and destructive skills. It's pretty self-explanatory if you ask me. So I'm saying, be a good steward of that which you know to be true. If there's something that you know that worked really well and it's something that can benefit others, it's a high-minded thing to find a way to communicate that and share that with the world. And the cautionary note here is just that perhaps that, how you arrived at this great insight was probably through, digging in the karma ditch to some regard. How do we learn these things? Usually because life handed us our ass in some kind of way, or we saw something unfair or shitty happen to other people around us, and it gave us, skills that we've had to acquire to adapt to the situation just to survive it, right? And so I'm feeling like, over the course of the month, you're going to have some opportunities to demonstrate that which you know to be true, and how you do it, it's really up to you. I'm not here to judge you. But I will say that, you know, we learn very reflexive behaviors when we're busy fighting shit off of us, and creepy crawlies are coming, and, life's trying to kick your ass, and, you get good at your judo and all, whatever your defense strategy is. And, it can make you reactive. And what I'm hearing here is that things are changing. Might be major. And as it is, pay attention to where it's hitting you in your funny bone, you know what I mean? And maybe just take a step back before you react. Always a good tact during retrogrades, especially. And make sure that you're not just responding out of instinct, that old trained dog, that old response, because it's a new day, friends. We are stepping into a new light. I think that's part of why it's so polarizing out right now. The shit got kicked up, and it's time for changes, and that starts here. So you don't have to be a slave to your reflexes. You have learned, and now you have an opportunity to show how much you've grown. Let that be your guide. All right, so moving on to physical material aspects of life. Could have something to do with the body, your physical world, your home, your job. And yeah, I think one of the earth signs got this card too. Who was it? I'm trying to remember. It's not coming to me right now. But it's a mental energy card in the physical realm. So I used the Rider-Waite-Smith deck for this part of the reading. And that right there is the Six of Swords. It's very mental energy. Swords are representative of, air energy and also air signs. Maybe you're dealing with an air sign. Could be, or somebody that exudes those kind of qualities in some form or fashion. He, she, they may be, Gemini, Libra, Aquarius, or have some predominant air in their chart. Might not be too, but that could be in your environment. This could be an individual that's playing a role here. But I'm going to show you this picture because I feel like you're leaving a bullshit situation in some form or fashion, and it's probably something that's been accumulating for a while, because that's a lot of swords right there. Okay. And what's going on here is these characters, because there's like 3 people here, they're like, we gotta get the fuck out of Dodge, yo. We gotta leave this messy crap behind us and go on to where the beach is and the party and the smooth waters and the nice sunny sky. So, he's got his stick here in the water, and they're pushing and they're trying to get out, and these people don't look too happy. I mean, maybe it's like they look tired. They're all hunched over, lumping along. I mean, it's like they had a rough time over here, buddy. Maybe that was going on about half a year. I don't know. 6 years. How long? I don't know. It's going to be different for different people, but that's the messy bullshit. And you are thinking a lot about getting out of this situation. And how are you going to get on to the next place? And you got support with you. Yeah, so there's people with you. People are like, come on, let's get out of here. Let's do it together. You have some camaraderie. Even if they're a little tired. But yeah, I think some of the emphasis here, and I'm going to tie it into your mental energy that I'm looking at here next, is just to make sure you're also taking grounded steps with this. Something that can happen when we're focused a lot on the mind while we're dealing with material aspects of life is, you could get a little trapped up here, just overanalyzing the situation and kind of like disturbing your own self by, maybe just wanting to plan it too well, even, and taking it a little maybe too seriously sometimes. So I don't think you're doing that, but I'm just, bringing it up since it's a mental energy in your physical realm. So just make sure that as you're considering these things, you're doing it from a grounded approach, approach that is balanced within the center of yourself, and that you are taking the appropriate steps of action. Now, what's coming up in your mental energy is really cool. I love it. It's actually indicating what I was just recommending to you, which is to be self-centered, if you will, centered within yourself, in how you are considering those steps forward. Whatever this move, this change is that you've decided to make, that might not be super easy to do. And, it could be a laborious process. And the John Holland Oracle deck gave us the solar plexus chakra card, which is representative of this center portion of yourself, like your solar plexus, sternal kind of region here. And this is where, some people call it your God center, is, your I am self, where, you get that gut feeling sometimes when something kicks you in the gut and you're like, I don't know about that. Or, yeah, that feels really good. And a lot of times that comes from like right here, like right under your heart. And that's a really good place to be. That's the center of your balanced ego. When you're balanced in your ego, that's where, you'll be exuding a lot of light in your personality. And people talk a lot of shit about ego. And if you didn't have one, you wouldn't know when to stop and eat and feed your body. You wouldn't know how to drive right so that you didn't drive off a freaking ditch, It's a good thing to have an ego that's healthy and that's balanced within yourself. And if you're having challenges with this right now, we're going to incorporate, a calibration on that for your prayer when we get to that part of it. But the other thing you can do is, reach out to somebody that does energetic healing. I do it. You can hit me up. My email's down there in the description, and I'll pray with you. I'll pray for you. Talk to somebody that can help you balance your chakras, or like search on YouTube. There's so much cool stuff in here. There's like great channels that have like frequencies that you can listen to that help balance these things. And you might focus on, like, of course, maybe your whole chakra system. It's a great idea. I do it every day. But you can pay special attention to this guy, solar plexus chakra. Okay. That's the third chakra, by the way. So this right here is showing up as your mental energy. And so what that's saying to me is really good stuff. It's telling me that you are, you're not doing that crazy cuckoo thinking thing, which is good. You're doing the centered, I know what I want, I know what I'm doing, and this is what my purpose is, and this is the thought process that you are projecting to help you move forward. So pay special mind to that. If you feel like you have any challenges this month with making decisions to move forward in that which is serving your highest and best good, check in with your solar plexus chakra. Get somebody to hook you up with a prayer. Get some meditation. Get some binaural audio or something that works for you. Do a cleanse. Cleanse your body. Cleanse your mind. Yeah. Alright, so I'm going to move on. If it's major, whatever these things are that you're leaving and where you're going and why, they're really drawing an emphasis on bringing forward your joy and your childlike qualities to help you deal with that. And actually, I forgot to mention this before, but that was a really strong shuffling kind of indication that I got when I was trying to do y'all's reading the first time. I had seen like little children, and it's funny because like even your romance angels card that came up here was children. They didn't look like this though, that I'd seen before, but it was showing kids, and there had been this oppressive feeling, and I didn't understand what it was, and I was thinking about it while I was shuffling last time, and what was kind of coming to me was that they were suggesting that in the midst of chaos, which, can happen at any time, one of the best things that we can do for ourselves, always is self-care. And that it would be a good time in the month of May, not in anticipation of anything dark and gloomy, but just as good housekeeping and energetic hygiene for yourself to keep, these sways and balance by giving yourself, I like to call them love antidotes. You find a little something to grab onto that, puts a little smile in your day that maybe you're not used to having. And so, maybe evoking your childlike qualities, your inner qualities is going to be a really good thing. If you have kids or like animals, like there's dogs here, check it out. Dogs, hang out with them. Oh, look, she's cuddling a little puppy over here, so that's going to bring your joy back. And sometimes life can be really challenging, and especially right now, I know a lot of people are going through some major stuff and uncertainties, and stuff like that can really rob the joy out of your life and just fucking drain you in a kajillion different ways. And, you gotta have something else. You gotta have something else. Give yourself something else. And it's not to pretend like, major stuff isn't happening or to minimize your situation. It's really just to give you relief and to bring things back from the other side that they've swayed off to. So, for me, that could be simple things. I've got a little dog, and, I like to take her to the park and just play with her and love on her. And who knows, maybe you're looking for love. And if so, being inspired by your inner childlike quality and, the you that used to dream about things, and the you that would dream big and not try to disqualify those things because the world had stolen some of your joy or whatever, that's going to be helpful for you this month. It's going to be really helpful. And there could be another message here too for some people. Not feeling this one as strongly, but it could be that, maybe having children is somehow an interference. That's kind of what it's saying here. That wasn't really the message I was picking up, though. It was saying your love life is being affected by children. I didn't feel like anybody's children were keeping them away from anything. I felt like it was more a call to evoke these qualities within and to allow yourself to express that to some extent, to give you some of that healthy balance. So, it also ties really well into the Archangel Michael message that came through, which is about having a sense of humor. It's a sense of humor card. And I like it, you know. It's great to have levity and humor anyway, but especially if you're trying to leave a hectic situation or something that was really went, wrong for whatever reason, maybe for a long time, and maybe something that brought out some of those shadow attributes in your life, that taught you those difficult lessons where maybe you were manipulated, maybe you were abused by somebody, maybe somebody took their own negativity out on you in a very destructive way, and you're trying to get away from that situation and somehow. And this is a good month to have that progress, but keep in mind that it's okay to have a sense of humor too, even when things are shitty and sucky, and especially so. I went through some major crap. I'll just tell you here, I'm a cancer survivor, and I'm not going to get too much into that in this video, but there were times where I was holding on to whatever I could that would give me a sense of joy so that I could just make it to the next hour without having a fucking meltdown. Okay? And sense of humor really helped. I found love antidotes, little things that I could inject into my day that would give me a quick laugh, something to keep me balanced here so that I could carry on and I could deal with some really grave stuff going on. So I'm going to pray for you, Cancer. Let's pray, all right? This is for us, guys. All right. Thank you for helping me see the humor in this situation so I can lovingly laugh at human nature. I'm willing to view my experience in a new light in order to attract love and healing energy. All right, Cancer. That's for you folks. I hope you liked it, and if you did, like, share, subscribe. I'm going to be doing more of these, and I just wish you a really great May. And if you have a hard time or if you want somebody that's going to pray for you, drop me an email. I'd love to do it. So, yeah, let's move on to Pisces now. Wow. Okay. Really interesting. Whoa. Pisces. Really cool. Do you have a friend that's a Cancer? You guys working together somehow? Really cool. I decided to use the Caroline Miss archetype cards for the overall sort of challenge energy, or like your monthly weather forecast, if you will. So this is like the current of energy that could have a plus or minus side, depending on whether it's representing the light or the shadow aspects. And these cards do a really good job of depicting that. So what's really cool is, you got the student card, Pisces, and I just did the Cancer reading, and they got the teacher card. And so, actually, there's a couple of similarities here. It'll be interesting to see what Scorpio's got too. Y'all seem to be having something going on together. What's going on? But anyway, student. This card, I'm going to read you the light attributes because this is potentially one of the sways of the energy that you might be experiencing on a day-to-day, and I will then read you the shadow attributes. So on the light side, it says humility and devotion to knowledge and openness to lifelong learning. And on the shadow side, it's saying arrogance and the pursuit of destructive knowledge and an unwillingness to translate knowledge into action. So we've got action, we've got inaction, we've got progress, openness, and inertia. And like what I was saying to the other signs too, if you didn't check them out, with the light and dark stuff, it's helpful to maybe not look at it like it's like, oh, this is good, oh, this is bad, because shame doesn't help anybody really. That's some bullshit. But think of it like a battery. If you have a battery, it's got the little bump on one side and it's flat on the other side. That's the plus and the minus. All that is explaining, because not one side is better than the other. It's just a different direction that current of energy can flow in, right? So that's all these are doing, is helping you distinguish kind of how that energy might be interacting or showing up in your life. And I just find this helpful because, when things happen, if you kind of know what the weather is before you go out, and it's going to be crappy out, you know how to dress, to wear the right shoes if it's going to be like snowing or whatever. So, it's just really cool that you might want to check out the Cancer video. Maybe you have a Cancer in your life that is helping you open yourself up to a certain new dimension of lifelong learning, possibly. Or maybe somebody that's triggering the hell out of you, that's bringing up the shadow shit and making you like pissed off. I don't know, but it could be a possibility, and I'm just saying that because in your physical reality sector and the material aspects of your life that could be related to your body, your living situation, your work, what's going around in your arena. You've got this Page of Swords showing up. This is a Rider-Waite-Smith deck, and that's looking like a person to me in your physical realm. More of a person than an action. Just how I'm seeing it. But this is generally an air sign. It's going to be your Gemini, Libra, Aquarius variety person. He, she, they. Whoever that person may be. I'd say they're a snappy dresser. They have good hair. And maybe they're playing I Spy on you. Somebody's spying on your life there, Pisces. Or are you a spy? Are you spying on somebody? This is kind of a young and slightly reckless energy too. The Page of Swords can be pretty astute, but he's defensive. Look how he's standing. He's like, and he's like getting ready to like take a swing at somebody, or she maybe, with that long flowy red ponytail. That's red, ain't it? I don't know. Anyway, yeah, the good thing about this next to the Student card is that, the Page of Swords is, good in the mind and astute and maybe willing to learn. I think he's all right, but, he can be a little sloppy and also a little bit cutting and, like I said, defensive, trigger happy. So pay attention to that, because that might be showing up in your physical world. Excuse me a sec. And, it could be a person. It could be you. It could be how you're acting about your situation. Maybe you're kind of like on guard about something. You're feeling like, you need to be like defensive and like watching everything. But, just keep in mind with this student teacher stuff that's coming up here and those light attributes versus shadow attributes, because especially if something is showing up that's making you feel defensive about your physical world, what you want to be doing is just paying attention and trying to learn what you can from the situation so that you're able to take good actionable steps to help you, and not just being like, destructive, because maybe you don't understand and you're feeling too defensive, and so you just start, swinging your sword. So, keep that in mind, Pisces. That might be helpful over the course of the month. And I really think so, because, you're getting in the mental sector, You got a solar plexus card too, or excuse me, a chakra card too, just like Cancer did. They had the solar plexus card, which is the third chakra, show up, and you, my friends, you got the third eye chakra card. And that's the John Holland's Oracle deck there. I really like that. And your third chakra, or your third eye, is right here. That's your sixth chakra. It's also card 6. Which I really like that number, which is freaking interesting too, because Cancer got the 6 of Swords, which is also a mental energy, and it's also a 6. So there's something close there going on. And I can't say 100% what it is for you there, because that would be really hard to nail down in a general reading. But you know, you might be interested in checking out the Cancer reading. Maybe you have Cancer in your chart somewhere predominant too, and so you know you're growing in some ways, and your ability to kind of learn and discern in life, and also stand for the truths that you've acquired and the knowledge that you've attained in a constructive way, might be coming up a lot. And I think it might have a lot to do with some kind of relationship in your life. You know, maybe that's why you're feeling defensive. If you are that Page of Swords that's kind of like guarding, you know, what are you guarding, right? If you're guarding something. But the reason why I said it was because I pulled one of Doreen Virtue's Romance Angel Oracle cards for you for your personal and romantic situation, and wow, you got the heart-to-heart conversations card, and yeah, there's some stuff jumping off of here for me right away. Actually, you know, I think when I did the reading the first time, I think Cancer got this card. Really wigging me out, guys. But, you know, what it says here at the bottom is honestly discuss your feelings with each other. And there's like 4 people I'm seeing in this card. You know, 2 are angels. You got like little cherub characters here and here, right? And I'm so sorry about this glare. I'll figure something else out soon. But this is my first video, like I said. So, can you see that? There's 2 people right there. And I'm not saying any of this to piss anybody off, so I'm just going to use genders that jumped out at me, okay? But this can be any gender, okay? I'm a non-binary person myself, so I don't buy into that bullshit, but I'm reading this as a man, okay, and this as a woman, and I'm just going to use masculine pronoun feminine here, okay? But you can make it whoever makes sense for you. What I'm seeing here is this guy does not look like he's really freaking happy, right? Look at his face. It's kind of like, okay, go on. And she's like she's grasping his hand and, please, just look at me. Hear me out. And I don't know, maybe he's hurt, right? Do you resonate with one of these 2 characters here, Pisces? Maybe you've been like begging somebody that's a stone wall like that to just hear you, please hear me. And they're like really not there. It's like somebody who's not sensitive, or somebody that's like shell-shocked. You know, he kind of looks like he's freaking shocked or something to me right now. That's not how I read it before, though. Like, I was getting a different sense of this card, in all honesty, when it came out for Cancer before. And I'll just go ahead and give you that too, because this might be relevant for you in some way. And, you know, maybe this is going on for Cancer too. But what I was seeing here before was like, you know, he's really like not feeling it, you know, and she's trying really hard. And these angels are kind of all looking, and they're like, it's gonna be okay. And they're just sort of watching, making sure everybody's cool. But he's having a hard time, like, even hearing her, right? I mean, he's being cool about it, though. He's not acting crazy about her, like, trying to hold his hand or anything. But I did notice he's really having to ground himself to get through this one. Like, he's even leaning on a tree, which is brilliant. If you're ever feeling ungrounded and you have access to a tree and the weather is appropriate, by all means, hug the tree, sit under the tree, lean against the tree. It's a very good experience. But yeah, you know, maybe there's a difficult conversation that needs to happen, and you're gonna have to go heart to heart to get past whatever it is that's got people, or one or both of you all feeling stonewalled and just like maybe shocked. And whatever it is, you know, maybe it's something difficult to hear or to say, but I think it's a time for truth. And that was one of the things that came up while I was just shuffling, actually, for all of the water signs. They were telling us that it's a time for truth. So maybe this is going to happen in some form or fashion for you, Pisces, and possibly Cancer too if you're watching this. So just, you know, the advice here, guys and gals and others, is that it's time to honestly discuss your feelings with each other, and that even if it's hard and you have to find a way to ground yourself through it, you're going to be okay. All right? You have guidance, there's angels there, and even if she has some shitty stuff to tell you, she might be telling him some stupid BS, but he's okay. He's leaning on something, you know. He can handle it. He might not love it, but sometimes the kind thing to do, especially if something has been just hidden and it might be having a negative potential implication on people's lives, especially when hearts are involved, you know, sometimes the kind thing to do is just to allow the space for that thing to just be expressed in a healthy, hopefully non-abrasive way, right? Just so that the pressure can be like aspirated and released. And so keep it in mind, if you will, Pisces, and possibly Cancer if you're watching this. And be honest and ground yourself, and you know, try to take that light attribute again as the student, even if it's some bullshit that you don't want to hear. Instead of resorting to, like, you know, just feeling like it's taking you down and like you're just gonna have to like shut off the life, you know, don't do that. Don't do that. That's not worth it. You're not worth that treatment. You're worth being the one that's gonna learn from it. And so even if it's some crap that you got drugged into for some BS reason or whatever, try to really, like I said, brace yourself, ground yourself, and be open to what you have learned that will help you in the future for the days to come. All right? And on that note, we're going to go ahead into your Archangel prayer with Archangel Michael, which I think is highly appropriate for this. And what Archangel Michael's saying is that prayer will help this situation. And that is a really nice card. Check that angel out. Maybe that's you, Pisces. Are you an angel? I think you could be. But one way or the other, I'm going to pray for you, okay? This is for us, guys. All right. Dear God and Archangel Michael, and you can go ahead and say anybody that you like to pray to. God, Jesus, Muhammad, Buddha, angels, higher self, whatever you believe in. Dear God, Archangel Michael, and fill in the blank, I ask for your divine intervention in whatever situation pertains unto you. And I ask for your divine intervention in this situation. I welcome your help, and I trust and follow your guidance with gratitude and grace. I need a miracle, and I ask that you send one to me in this situation quickly. Thank you, and amen. All right, Pisces. That's all I got for you right now for the month of May. I hope it's a good one. And like I said, if you need some prayer support, hit me up. Email's down there. If not, like, share, subscribe. Hope you liked it. And hopefully we'll see you next month. So we'll go ahead and move on now to Scorpio. Scorpio. What's up, Scorpio? See what you got going on here. So you might have heard on the other ones, if you're watching all of them, I had a really hard time with y'all's video. It just wasn't happening. I recorded it, couldn't edit it, and then it was like I couldn't even get it up on YouTube. It failed, and I just spent like hours with it, and then I was just like, wow, I'm getting a message to just try it again. So hopefully this one will work. I hope. I'm doing my best. And anyway, this is my first time bringing these to you guys, so thanks for giving me a shot. And I'm sorry if I dawdle when I talk. I have a little bit of ADHD, and sometimes I just get pulled with the messages. So I'm trying to do a format here similar to the other ones so that they will make sense and flow. And what I've done is I first called forward assistance in reading whatever the energy is. It's going to be sort of like the undertone of your month, the weather forecast, if you will, and sometimes the challenge. But that energy is going to be read with the Caroline Miss Archangel or archetype cards, excuse me. And you guys got the Mediator card, Scorpio, and that's kind of cool. I like these because they demonstrate like the light attributes as well as the shadow attributes, and I see this as like the two different opposing terminals on a battery. You get your plus and minus, neither is better than the other. Not one is bad or good. It's just a different expression of the same energy current, since it runs in a current. And the purpose of this is to help us understand what that current could potentiate and how that might show up in our lives, right? So that as it's happening, we can better discern how we would like to interact with it. So, on the sunny side up, light attributes, it's stating gift for negotiating fairness and strategy in personal and professional life. Respect for both sides of an argument. And on the shadow side, it's stating negotiating with an ulterior motive or hidden agenda, either personally or professionally. Ooh, ain't that some shit? Scorpio. Hey. This is actually... Wow. I'll show you what I'm looking at. There's a lot of purple here. Purple is like upper chakra kind of thing. So I feel like this person here is showing up in the card, the one in the middle. We'll just call that person a she for now, and maybe there's a couple other people involved here. See, there's 3. I'm hearing triangulation. That's interesting too, because I was feeling something with these 3 water signs here. Maybe that's why they had me read it over again, and there seems to be a relationship of some kind that's kind of inverted with the cards even here, with the Pisces and Cancer reading. And maybe you have some of those characters in your life, or people that have predominant water in their charts that might be showing up that way. You might want to check those out. They're also in this reading, this video, the other 2 chapters. But there's 3 people here, and I'm feeling like this is going on during your month here, Scorpio. And she knows what's up. She got her eyes open. She's working with some upper chakra stuff here too. So the thing is, there's some kind of strategy going on here. And honestly, I'm just going to say it. It feels like a little bit of shady stuff somewhere. That might not be everybody, but it feels like somebody's either like throwing some freaking shade or having it thrown at them and like being unaware, perhaps. I don't know why I'm picking up on that, but on the light side, there may be opportunities presenting themselves over the course of the month of May for you to step into your high mind as the mediator and the one who can help finesse maybe something that's kind of screwy, maybe something triangulated. And there's also a chance that you or someone you know in your vicinity is up to some shady BS. Ulterior motive jumps out. So, watch out for that. So, for the physical aspects of life, and this could be many different things there, guys. Could be, your body, your housing situation, your work, career. You've got some movement going on here, it feels like, emotionally at least, that is causing some change in your physical world. But it seems like it's something that's very emotionally driven. I'm getting a lot of cups here. I used the Rider-Waite Smith deck for your physical aspects, and that 8 of Cups right there, it's a really emotional card. And yeah, this one can be kind of rough to go through sometimes, because it's like a real leaving behind of something. And I mean, sometimes it's really just going off to a better horizon here, whatever's better, and leaving the dark in the past. But this person feels alone to me. And the journey ahead might be rocky, I mean, they feel like they're alone and like they're leaving a lot behind, something they were emotionally invested in deeply. And there's this sense of feeling cold, just like a little cold and isolated here. So I don't know if that's you there, Scorpio, or maybe that's like something that's already happened. I don't know. Maybe you've already made that forward motion away from those things. Maybe you've already left the past behind you, and maybe you're kind of just like thinking about it and feeling it this month, which would make a lot of sense. We've got a 5-planet retrograde going on right now, And actually, it's a really good time to where, you know, especially if you're dealing with some emotional stuff like this, that's affecting your day-to-day life and your ability to like get up and do things in the constructive way that you would like to do. Something like this can really impede you if you let it. And be careful that you're not drinking too much, you know, or abusing any substances that might be, you know, medication right now, because that could really, it could exacerbate things. I just have to say how I feel about this. And, you know, be careful that you're not drowning your sorrows. You know, sometimes it's okay to just cry, you know, if you're having a tough time, especially, you know, and, you know, maybe something shady happened to you. I don't know. Maybe you're dealing with some crap. Maybe somebody hurt you, you know, and you've been feeling like something destructive has been happening and you've been medicating yourself. And hey, a lot of us have done that before. I'm not judging you, but just make sure that you're not doing anything that's going to make it, you know, cause you to lose ground in your physical world. You know, don't make it harder for yourself, is what I'm saying. So, you know, maybe this was already hard, but it doesn't have to be so hard going forward. And, you know, that's really easy for me to say if I'm not feeling exactly what your pain is. So I'm not trying to piss you off here, but be careful with yourself. And I think you are. I think you are. I think it might just be an emotional time. You know, maybe you really did leave that situation. Where did I put that card? But, you know, when we leave a difficult or challenging place in life and we decide to take steps forward, one of the great things that happens, and I was talking to the other water signs about it, is the benefit of the wisdom that we attain as we've developed the coping skills. And that's really, you know, a step in that light attribute direction that you got in your archetype card. You know, perhaps that is where your gift for negotiating fairness and strategy in personal and professional life comes from these difficult places that you've arrived from. And perhaps that's what gave you respect for both sides of an argument, where you can see that maybe something was polarized in your own life and maybe things could have been different if it was a little more balanced. So please try to balance yourself this month, okay? And especially if you're feeling very emotional and it's causing you challenges in your day-to-day life, get some help. You don't have to feel alone. I'm almost certain that you don't have to feel alone like that. There's definitely going to be some help here, and I feel like you know, it's actually coming. I feel like, you know, that's actually also on your mind. So, you know, it's like you got the in the John Holland deck here, this is like in the Rider-Waite, this is like the Six of Pentacles. This is, see here, material and spiritual prosperity. And this is what's on your mind. One of the fire signs have gotten this too. And it's kind of doing the same thing here for me too. It's like wanting to fly away, and that's kind of cool because how I saw it, and mind you, this is what's in your mental energy right now, is this energy here. This guy is like showing up like an angel to me. It's like, you know, a couple things, like this person is seeing that things could be brighter in their life, and like the sun's finally coming up. Maybe they're finally like anticipating in their mind that, you know, they're gonna leave that bullshit that made them really sad behind, and then something good is here on the horizon. But I'm also kind of feeling like you got somebody on your mind. Who is your six? Who is this person? Who is the one that almost seems like they have wings? Who's that person, Pisces? I think there might be a person that looks like that or feels like that to you, and they might be on your mind. You know, it's somebody that you maybe kind of see as like an earth angel. That's what I'm hearing. But one way or the other, this is really auspicious omen because when I said Pisces, I meant Scorpio. Yeah, who is this Scorpio? Anyway, yeah, you know, you got somebody on your mind. Maybe this person seems like an earth angel to you. And the good thing about this too, like this Six of Pentacles, oh, it's a good card, you know. It says it right there, material and spiritual prosperity. So, you know, it's an upswing. Things are getting better. And in the like Rider-Waite deck, this one sometimes for me like has an implication of something being unbalanced and needing to come into balance. And so, you know, maybe that's what you're contemplating too. Maybe there's something that has been going on in your physical life that now you're consumed with here, and you're thinking about this and maybe making it right, like restoring balance is what I'm hearing. So, you know, if you're feeling abundant, or maybe like you're not abundant because of something having been off balance between you and, you know, whoever your earth angel is, maybe it's you. This might be a month to consider what steps you can take to bring that into balance, you know? And I think it would be a good time to do it. Your Romance Angel Oracle card from Doreen Virtue states forgiving and learning. And, yeah, it's, somebody is grieving big time. I almost feel like I don't know, maybe something was out of balance. This person has like kind of collapsed onto the ground and is like kind of like almost in the lap of this other individual. And he's just like got his hand on this person's head, you know, and it's like one person is like begging forgiveness, and this guy, you know, he's like thinking about it, but he's kind of like, you know, he's like, what do I do? He looks kind of glum. Look at his face. Like, he's very sad. He looks melancholy to me, right? And I don't know if you can see this because of that stinking glare, but there's some faces and that yellow stuff right there, that gold glow. Those are like angels and spirit guides. And I don't know if you identify with any of these people in this picture here, Scorpio. You know, maybe one of these characters seems like you or somebody you know in your vicinity, but I know if you're this guy, the one that's like, what do I do with this? You know, if you're that guy, just, you know, take a moment and try to be kind, especially if somebody comes to you like this. They're really encouraging you to listen to the balanced part of your own psyche that might be coming to you as your spirit guides, your angels, whispering in your ear, and just maybe making suggestions to be patient and kind. It's nice to be nice. And what it says here is, as you release and heal the past, you experience more love in your present moments. Hallelujah. I concur. So forgive and learn. And I believe that will, you know, if there's something that you're trying to leave, that should help you. And also keep in mind too, maybe it's not somebody else you need to forgive. Oftentimes, it's ourselves that we need to forgive. You know? So don't beat yourself up if you were not performing at your best before, but shit, if you hurt somebody or somebody else, make it right. Do what you can. And Archangel Michael says, make a commitment. So first commit it to yourself. And then if you're owing that commitment to somebody else, do it. And this is so crazy. I kind of saw somebody like proposing earlier. It kind of looked like that, actually. I couldn't tell if they were begging somebody for forgiveness. I'm seeing a lot of that in this reading for water signs, guys, for whatever reason. But make a commitment. Or maybe you're apologizing to your partner. Did you promise yourself to somebody and mess up? Are you asking for forgiveness? Do you want another chance? Do you want that person to be with you? I don't know, but Archangel Michael is with you. And if he's saying make a commitment, I think it's got to be safe to do it, guys. At least show what's in your heart. Show it to yourself first. Always be honest with yourself. That's the only way you can be honest with the world and others. Okay? So I'm going to pray for you now, Scorpio. This is for us, guys. Archangel Michael, as the angel of courage and confidence, call upon you to lend me your strength. Allow me to commit myself, my life, and my divine purpose. Please clearly guide me so I can fully open my heart to every experience. Amen. All right, guys. That's all I got for now, Scorpio. Hope you have a great month of May 2016. Thanks for giving me a shot. If you liked it, thumbs up, like, subscribe, share it with somebody. And, if you need somebody to pray for you for anything, drop me an email. I'm happy to do it. And God bless you. Hope to see you next month. Bye.